Hi guys, Smith Clear and welcome to the 17th round and the 18th round of the XRL GP3 season, and today we're in America. Now, Brazil will be straight after, so stay tuned for that. But here's the setup, and this was the setup I was running for the America race in Austin. Hopefully we can have a good result today. You know, it's a track that I like, but I'm not really that strong on, but we're going to start the lap anyway now. And we're heading up towards turn 1. Uphill, gotta try and spot the 100-meter board as I do, and we're gonna try and clip the curb, take a bit too much curb really, but anyway, we're heading down towards turn 2, and then this tricky S bit, which I think it's turn 3, 4 and 5, and then a bit sloppy. We didn't really have much turning through the middle of the S's, but we're 2 tenths up on our previous time and only 300s off Blackster Hill, who's in provisional pole at the minute, so it's not bad so far. Now we're heading down towards turn 11, I believe. I don't really know my turns around this track, but anyway, clip the curb, and now we're going to try and get a good run out of the turn and then up down one of the longest straights I believe on the calendar. Don't know if it's the longest, but it's a really long straight, and you got to spot your braking point. It's between the 150 and 100, but now we're gonna clip the curb, and not a bad exit, but we've actually gained another 2 tenths, so we're 4 tenths up, but we're 5 tenths down on XRL Bubbles, who used to be Bobbett's. And now this is the tricky bit, which we clip the curb. Hopefully we can get a good exit as we pull it up into Rich. Sector 3 is not my favourite part of this track. I really struggle around it, as Azar Reaction goes pole on a 38.9, but we exit the penultimate turn, and now coming to the last turn, we're going to try and clip the curb. We do. We're going to have a okay exit, and we're going to cross the line, and we do a 39.4, which puts us in 10th position. Now I could have improved, and I was on a lap that was better, but I'm going to blame my dog for the reason why I didn't improve. I got distracted, but anyway. We're going to go into the race now, and hopefully we can have a good result. We're starting on the primes. We're going to get them out of the way on the first lap. You've probably watched the USA GP3, and we did the same thing, but this race was the day before the GP3 race. But as the 5 lights show, lights out, and away we go here in America. And we got a poor start, as you expect, but we're just going to try and keep it clean into turn 1, as Unstoppable gets a decent start. And now we're trying to exit turn 2 pretty cleanly, but we're still in 9th. I thought someone was going to jump us then, but they didn't. And Samster's behind us in 10th, as we're now going through the S's. And it's a bit all jam-packed really on this first lap so far, but just going to try and follow these guys around, not lose too much time to the guys ahead, who I believe are all on option tyres. So we'll see how they do, as Reactions, I think, taps Unstoppable and Indigo at the same time, but we're now heading down towards this left-hander. I believe it's turn 10 or 11. I can't remember which one it is. But anyway, we exit it and we touch Unstoppable. But now LGS, who, as you can see, he's lagging a lot, and he was very difficult to race him because he's just lagging like behind and then in front. And you'll see now, he goes so slow and then he lags again, and I'm going to get a penalty now for this, and there was nothing I could do because, you know, you could see his car's just lagging all over the shop, and when you got a car like him just lagging like that, it's really difficult to race against and really off-putting. And hopefully I'll get that penalty taken off, because to be honest it was really unfair. It was not really anything I could do. As you can see, his car's still lagging, jumping ahead. And I think, well, you know, obviously it's hard to race against as we go into the pits on lap 1, so not a really good start to this race, but obviously not my fault because there's nothing I could do with a laggy car. But hopefully we can have a good rest of the race. To be honest, I think it was a bit harsh of penalty as well, really, because it was, I know my car squeezed him off, but it wasn't well, on my screen it was only like a little wheel-to-wheel bit, but obviously on his screen it might have punted him fully off. I don't know what happened on his screen, but we're coming out to the pits in 12th position, but now on lap 14, a couple of cars have retired. I believe LGS has retired and someone else as we pass Samster going down into the heavy braking zone, but we run a bit deep and Samster's claimed the position back. Now we just got to try and follow him round this twisty section at the start of sector 3. We might dive it up the inside now and we get the move done and we're up into 9th position. Samster's trying to fight back, but yeah, we've got the move done now and we are up into 9th position, and Ian Unstoppable is ahead in 8th position in the Toro Rosso. So on lap 16 we're up in 8th. Dizzy Cupid has pitted, he's going to pass us and we give him room and Dizzy Cupid's through. So we're back down to 9th position now, but hopefully we can try and reclaim the position. We're gaining him with a slipstream. I think he might have DRS, I'm not too sure. We're going to try and go around the outside. We've got to be really brave on the brakes. We know we back out quite a lot, but he's kept the position. Now on lap 19 we're up in 7th position. We're pitting from 7th. A couple of cars have pitted, my teammate and someone else, so we're going in the box for another set of options. So we're not going to use the primes again, as you'd have guessed, so we're just going to really push now on both sets of options. We're going to pit again about lap 38, so we're just going to have to push and try and make up a few positions. And on lap 29 we've caught up to Ian Unstoppable, who's on the primes. We've gained on him about 5/10 a lap. Well, I think it might have been more than that, but it was quite... I didn't really think he was on the primes because it weren't really noticeable, but we make the move anyway and we're up into P6 on lap 30 this Grand Prix, and my teammate is up the road. And on lap 32 we are going to try and pass my teammate. We get the DRS. This should be a really simple move as he made a mistake, so it's going to really reduce his speed. And yeah, we've got the move done as long as we don't make a mistake in the braking zone, and we get the move done and we're up into 5th position. So on lap 36 Dizzy Cupid is behind us. There was a slight nudge, but he's going to try and get this move done now as we head up towards turn 1. He should get it done pretty reasonable. I think he's on fresher tyres and he's got the inside line. He's on the primes actually, so it was a decent move there from Dizzy Cupid, as the primes are quite slow around this track. But on lap 38 now, me and Dizzy are going to jump Jamie and XRL Bobbits, who have just pitted. We're not really racing them at all, but we've just, you know, ahead of them anyway. On the straight, I decided to let them through. I'm not really racing them anyway. They're in a race of their own, so I just thought not get involved with it. And on lap 39 we're in the box for our last stop of the Grand Prix. So we're going to put on another set of options. And now I think we've got to just watch out for Ian Unstoppable, because the gap's like about 5 seconds, so we get delayed a bit in the pits as well by, I think it was Ian Unstoppable. So he's going to be one to watch out for, because now he's on the options. He should be quicker than us because he is a regular in the F1 division. And No Namer, who is a reserve from F5, is in 4th position, so that was a great performance from him, as we're going to cross the line in 5th position. So it's a decent result. We get moved down to 6th position because of a penalty, which weren't our fault, but anyway, I'm happy with the result. And let's go into Brazil now. Should be an entertaining race in Interlagos. As you can see, this is a setup I was running. Now I changed my wings to 2-3 or 1-3, I can't remember which, but obviously I changed the wings because it was raining qualifying and the race, so I put the wings up. So let's see if it was the right decision, as we're going to start our best qualifying lap now. So we're heading down towards turn 1, trying to get as close to the curb as possible. And then we click turn 2 and then we run through turn 3, this long left-hander down the straight. Now we're looking for the braking point, which is about the 100 metre board, and well, after the 100 metre board, about 75 metres. Now we're exiting we're entering turn 5, now up into the right-hander of turn 6, I believe this is, and I think this is still turn 6 and now turn 7. So we're trying to clip the curbs, try and hit the apexes. Now we're through the long left-hander, which is pretty difficult to take, but we take it out alright. And now this right under a turn 9, I believe it is. It might be turn 10 if there's a little kink. And now we head down towards turn 12. I'm really not really sure on my turns, as I haven't got the track map of this circuit, but we're heading up the hill. And now this is the last sort of turn, I believe. And now we're heading down up towards the straight, this little crest of the hill. And we've done a 15.0, which puts us in 7th position. Not a bad qualifying. We're not that far off Jamie, so it was pretty close qualifying in the wet conditions. Obviously, they're probably varying setups. Some might have run a wet setup, some might have run a dry setup, so that's really going to be interesting to see in the race. You'll see if they're slow in the dry or quicker in the wet, so let's see how we get on. And that's the 5 light show, lights out, and away we go here in Brazil for the penultimate round of this XRL F1 division season. Now we're heading down towards turn 1, and we're just trying to keep it clean. There's contact between the 2 Ferraris, and Blackstone has spun, and we've got jumped by NMR Mist Indigo and Ian Unstoppable, and Samster's only a couple of car lengths behind, so we've got to watch out for him as well. We're looking up the inside of Ian Unstoppable, but we braked too early to make any difference. But we're just going to try and follow these cars round, and not really much happening at the minute, but we're going to just try, maybe have a look up the inside of Ian Unstoppable, which we don't. Now maybe go round the outside of Indigo, but it closes the door as there's contact with a Mercedes and another car. It was Andre, but I don't know who he made contact with. As we're going to try to go around the outside, we go way too deep. We're going to go on the grass, and Samster's got 8th position, so we're down to 9th. And really, it was a bit of a bizarre move what I was trying to do, but anyway, on lap 3 we're behind Samster, and we touch him a little bit. I think that might have bumped him a bit ahead on his screen. It looked like it did on my screen. Didn't really mean to do that at all, but anyway, we're going to get the DRS on him. This should be a simple move as long as we don't outbrake ourselves. We're looking for this about 75 metres, but we outbrake ourselves, and Samster's going to reclaim the position straight away, as I think we sort of let him through because of the tap as well. But on lap 5 we dive up the inside of Samster, so now Ian Unstoppable's only about a second ahead, so it's not that far. We can probably catch him within the next couple of laps, but we've got to try and defend from Samster as well. But we're getting the DRS, so we're going to close right up on Ian Unstoppable. As now on lap 6 we exit the, well, I think it's the last turn. This might be a turn as well, but we get the move done on the Unstoppable, so we're up into 7th position, and now Indigo is up ahead in 6th. But on lap 8 Jamie is up ahead as we go on the grass, and I can tell you I was actually checking if my computer was on because I was recording this, and in Monza when my computer wasn't on, my TV got black screen, so I had to retire. But thankfully my computer was on, and we've lost the position to Andre, but I'm just grateful that it was on, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to finish the race, because I've been looking at a black screen, which is not nice to look at all. But anyway, we're just going to try and follow Andre as he gets clipped. The curb clips his left wheel and sends him off, and we got 8th position back. But Andre's going to make a move going into turn 4, and it was a bit of a brave move there from Andre. Good move, and we're down to 9th again. And it's been really dramatic this first 12 laps. Loads of action, especially, you know, round the tail end of the grid, as we pass Ian Unstoppable again, and up to 8th position. On lap 16 now we've caught Jamie, so we're going to try and make the move on Jamie. He commits to the inside, so we're going to go round the outside of Jamie, and we get the move done. Pretty simple with the DRS. But on lap 18 Jamie's got the DRS, and he's going to dive up the inside into turn 1, and we're back down to 8th position. But we're going to try and go around the outside of Jamie going through turn 3, and we go on the curb. And to be honest, I weren't sure if that was a legal overtake, and you'll probably see me outbrake myself, and in a way I'm glad I did, because I think that could have been a legal overtake, and we let him through, and he's back into 7th position, Jamie is. But we're going to pit on lap 20 for intermediate tyres. The rain's got heavier now, so it wasn't fit to keep the dries on. We was going to lose too much time and obviously probably spin or something, so we exit in the pits behind Jamie in 8th position and Samsters in 9th. I believe Unstoppable has pitted. I'm not really sure actually, to be honest, but Samsters, I think Unstoppable's in 10th and Samsters in 9th, but on lap 25 the rains got heavier, so we're going to put on full wets. Now, I wasn't looking forward to putting on the full wets because I'm really slow in the wet, as you've probably seen in my GP3 races. So, you know, to be honest, I was actually quick in the dry. I felt really good in the dry, so, you know, that's just how it is, I suppose. But you just got to deal with the changeable conditions and try and be quick, and I've really struggled with that all season, the heavy wet conditions. But on lap 36 the safety car's been deployed, and I think Blackster Hill crashed his car. I don't know where, I think it might have been in the pits, but anyway, that was unfortunate for him. And on lap 38 the safety car is out. Well, it was out on lap 36, but it's coming in on lap 38, and we're behind Dizzy Cupid as we're waiting for the restart. And as you can see, he's got quite a good getaway, so we're not going to trouble him going down towards turn 1. As you can hardly see the cars with the spray coming off the cars. But on lap 50, and we're right up Dizzy Cupid's rear. Now we get a really good exit out of turn 2, coming through turn 3 and down the straight, and we're going to try and get a little bit of slipstream. We're trying to get slipstream, then he moves he moves across. I don't know what he was actually doing, and then he forces us off. And honestly, I was really angry with his driving, to be honest, all race. It was just unbelievable. And then this, on lap 57, you can see the lag spike. I was so frustrated with what happened, as I lose about 3 or 4 positions because of a second lag spike, which, you know, is not really much because some people get 5-second lag, but it's so frustrating because I was behind Dizzy Cupid for about 20 odd laps. And, you know, it's questionable defending, and then I get the lag, and really, you know, I suppose I gambled on a safety car, and now I've gone back to where I was before the safety car came out. But still, it's still frustrating because, you know, I was challenging Dizzy Cupid for 3rd position. I didn't have the pace, but still, on lap 59, I don't know if I think there was contact between the 2 cars there, but we get past. It might have been a little bit of a legal overtake, but we had to try and avoid him. And on the end of lap 59, we're in the pits, and we're going to put on the inters. It's dried up a little bit, so it's time for the intermediates, and it might be dry at the end because there's hardly any rain at all on the track, so it's just the standing water and stuff. So we've just got to try, obviously, and not hit the standing water, because that'll probably spin the car with these inters on. But Indigo's got through for 6th position because we ran deep, and Indigo's going to try and get past Jamie, but we're trying to take it pretty cautious. Jamie goes too deep, and we're going to go around the outside going into turn 2, and we get the move done pretty easy. So now we're up into 6th position, and on a few corners later, Jamie is going to have the inside. We go wide, we're going to give Jamie space, and he gets that move done pretty easy. And Andre's behind as well, so Andre will be looking to make the move pretty quickly. And on lap 65, a couple of laps later, Andre dives up the inside of turn 5. That was a great move from Andre. Really nice move there. You got to give him credit for that move. Brave move there from Andre. And now we're under pressure as well from Samster. So as you can see, Dizzy Cupid's held a load of cars up, and it's caused this sort of train effect between a load of cars, and cars that were quite far back have been able to come back into the battle, as Jamie and Andre have contact for the 2nd time in this race. And on lap 67, the cars are pitting for option tyres, as you've guessed, because the track is dried up. But we're going to take a risk and stay out on the intermediates, and this could bite us in the rear. But on lap 70, as you can see, it actually has, because the cars and options have got way more grip. Our tyres are probably really hot now running on the dry surface, but we're going to have to pit this lap. Well, we don't have to pit this lap, but I am going to pit this lap because I know Dizzy Cupid's still on the wet tyres. He's staying out on the wet tyres. So I thought we might as well just gamble, and then I idiotically open up the DRS. What was I doing? And I crash into the wall, so I've lost 2 seconds as well because I'm going to have my wing changed. And that was me not really thinking. I was so frustrated with how the race has gone, especially in the later period of the race with the incident with Dizzy Cupid at turn 4 and then the lag. It was just so frustrating and really disappointing because I think it's been a real action-packed race, but we come home 9th. Dizzy Cupid's lost a lot of time on that last lap, but yeah, 9th position, not great, but it's been an enjoyable race. If you liked the episode, leave a like. Until next time, for Abbott Dabby, thanks for watching and goodbye.